Hi, everybody. Um, I want to make sure that you don't feel bad about having a day job while you do your art. In part, I've got testimony here that the Dutch masters actually had day jobs while they're doing their artwork. Um, Regardless of the centuries-long attempts to, successful attempts to associate painting with the higher arts, so-called higher arts, literary and musical arts. Um, it still was difficult. There was a glut of paintings on the market, things like that. So I'll read you a couple things that are interesting. First of all, back to the whole idea of artwork being uh, less regarded as less worthy than uh, literature and music. Here's a quote from the satirist Lucian, who was born circa 125 CE, died circa 190 CE. He began his career as a sculptor, became a satirist, so he was educated. And this is what he wrote. He echoed Plutarch's opinion when he made education, the spirit of education, warn him in a dream that by becoming a sculptor, you will be nothing but a laborer, toiling with your body, getting meager and illiberal returns, humble-witted, an insignificant figure in public, one of the swarming rabble, etc., etc. So there's that. But fast forward more than 1,000 years to the Dutch masters era. By then, the painters had made themselves special to an extent, nobilified their profession, gotten away from the guilds, etc., to an extent. But at least in the Netherlands, and I quote, the painters were utterly unable to establish a sound balance between supply and demand. So many artists sought salvation in a second job, not only in picture dealing like Rembrandt and Vermeer, so Rembrandt and Vermeer were picture resellers, but also in occupations entirely at variance with their calling. Jan van Goyen dealt in real estate and in tulips. Eert van der Neer owned an inn in Amsterdam. Jan Steen a brewery in Delft and an inn in Leiden. Jan van de Capelle carried on his father's dyeing business, dyeing fabric, that is, not D-Y-I-N-G, D-Y-E-I-N-G. Jacob Ruisdael was a barber surgeon, and Joost van Krabeek a baker, etc. So just remember, if you're toiling away at the millions of hats that artists wear, including making their own work, you're not alone. You have good precedents. And I'll go into this in more detail in a future video, but also don't be worried about whether anybody cares about your artwork right now. Why? Because, I'll save it for next time. But there are some very, very, very good reasons. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you later.